Hi, I'm Phil Ashey from the American Anglican Council with your weekly Anglican Perspective. The new Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, was formally elected and approved in a ceremony at St. Paul's Cathedral. His actual enthronement won't be until Thursday, March 21, the feast of Thomas Cranmer at Westminster Abbey. But already the new Archbishop is demonstrating his technological prowess by setting up a Twitter account in which he says his mission is to encourage reconciled churches who love and worship Jesus and want to change the world. Who can argue with that? That's wonderful. The problem is, what do we mean by reconciled churches? And what do we mean by reconciliation? Does reconciliation mean we just paper over differences and be nice to each other and not be at each other's throats? Does it mean that you stop suing me and stop calling me a terrorist and a school shooter before we even get to the table and talk? Is it simply ignoring differences that we have about who Jesus is for the sake of doing good works together? It's a very difficult question, isn't it? And when you're dealing with church conflicts like we are in the Anglican Communion, where people hold mutually irreconcilable views of who Jesus is, what the Bible says, what authority we should give it, how should we interpret it, it makes it that much more difficult. Here's what Paul has to say about reconciliation, which flows out of God reconciling us to himself through Jesus. He says, "For he himself is our peace, who has made the two one and has destroyed the barrier, the dividing wall of hostility, by abolishing in his flesh the law with its commandments and regulations." What that means is that reconciliation is the work of Jesus from beginning to end. He's the one that tears down that dividing wall of hostility that separated Jews and Gentiles from each other in the temple. But he says, here's the purpose. The purpose is to create in himself one new man out of the two, thus making peace, and in this one body to reconcile both of them to God through the cross. You see, the purpose of reconciliation is to help us become more like Jesus Christ, each of us. And that means recognizing what we've done as being wrong, repenting of it, stopping it, coming under the lordship of Jesus Christ, and then reshaping our relationships with other people, not just with God, but with other people, in accordance with what Jesus has done with us.